Hi guys! Today another special, so to speak. I'm not going to paint a miniature, I'm going to talk to you about color theory. If you've seen my previous videos about color sense and that sort of thing, you'll know, and even if you haven't, you'll know, our medium is not the sculpt, our medium is not the paint, our medium is color, therefore it is light. If you're serious about, even slightly serious about miniature painting, you've got to know what colors are made of. Actually, it's pretty much what we work with. So I think it would be, useful to know that sort of thing. You might have gone through this in art class in what you'd call middle school or high school or something of the sort. There's nothing wrong with brushing up, of course, even for the people who have paid attention to that sort of thing. I know there are some, there must be. It's quite easy, it's quite uncomplicated, but it will help you paint better. Because painting miniatures is a bit like painting pictures. Actually, we do try to convey some sort of atmosphere, emotion, even if it's just awe and that sort of thing. So we do need to mind our colors and not mechanically apply them to the miniature, except when speed painting, perhaps. Even then, you might want to get a little stylish sometimes, every now and then. Find something that's beautiful instead of just covering your miniature in paint, because that's what's done. So, the human eye perceives light, basically, and certain frequencies of light as visible. There are three main hues that the human eye perceives, and that cannot be decomposed in different colors, different hues rather. Color is composed of three things. That is hue, such as which we will see right now, by the way, such as red or purple or yellow or blue or that sort of thing. That's hue. That's the particular nuance, I guess. Each hue can be more or less dark or light. That's what we call lightness or value, actually. And each hue can be more or less saturated. That's another thing that defines color. Saturation is whether or not it's subdued and gray, or if it's vivid, that sort of thing. Let me show you under the close cam. The three primary colors, the colors that cannot be decomposed, are yellow, pure yellow, magenta, and cyan blue. The yellow, actually, if you want to do this at home, I suggest you buy gouache or tubes of colors, but you can just as easily do it with paints from your collection of miniature paints. It's just slightly more expensive, but they're all right. You won't find them under the name magenta, cyan, and yellow, but you'll find them. For example, this yellow fluo. Well, it's fluo, but it's all right. You can find the non-fluo version anyway. Is yellow from Vallejo. I'll put some here under the close cam. And I have another primary color there somewhere. It's Murderous Magenta from Privateer Press, which is just magenta, really. They just like their funny names. I'll put some here. Yes, that's perfectly all right. Yeah, here. And we need Cyan Blue, perhaps the hardest color to find pure in miniature ranges. They pretty much always have a magenta as purple, but you know, that sort of thing. It's actually a red, believe it or not. But magenta, Cyan Blue is present under the name Signal Blue Highlight from Privateer Press. You can also use Enchanted Blue from Games Workshop, or Magic Blue from, or Intense Sky Blue or Magic Blue from Vallejo. There we are. See, they're not especially light. They're just basic, really. These are the three primary colors. The yellow can be found in Games Workshop as well. It's Bad Moon Yellow, I guess. Lemon Yellow, sometimes called. Bold Moon Yellow from Vallejo. That sort of thing. The magenta, in Games Workshop terms, is Warlock Purple, actually. So, the primary colors can be mixed to make pretty much any color. When you mix the Cyan Blue here and the yellow, you get green. You get several hues of green, of course. When you mix 50-50 of both, it's actually called a secondary color. The secondary color in between yellow and blue is, of course, you guessed it, green. Every schoolboy knows that, but never hurts to brush up. Same thing with magenta and yellow. You get, well, actually a little more yellow. Yeah. Yellow is actually less covering than magenta, so you don't really. This yellow at least is. So I need to take a little more of it to have enough pigments to really do something like 50-50. You know? More of it here, because I'll need some afterwards as well. There. Get something like that. In between you get orange. And of course, as you may have guessed, you can get all the tones in between. As you may have guessed, this and this as a secondary color is purple. You can get all the tones in between. For example, here you'll have the lighter oranges, and even here, for example, you'll have some of the more warmish yellow, like Cygnus yellow, for example. That's almost a pure yellow, tinge of red still. That gives it its warmer, flame-like quality. This here is orange, and then you get towards the red, the warm red, fire red, and then you get magenta. And you know, this is called the primary color. These three are called the secondary color, and every color in between is called the tertiary color. These are just terms that I'm throwing around like that. You don't need to know them by heart. I will not ask you questions afterwards, don't worry. But it's good to know. When the colors are arranged like this, They're known as a chromatic circle. Actually, we'll do that a little. You know, just so. Just so you get a nice idea of the gradient. Put a little blue here. Well, never mind, it's all right, you get the idea. You do, don't you? Here you might get the turquoise and bluish green, and here you might get the more yellow types that are available, so to speak, like apple green, grass green, that sort of color. Now, why is it interesting to know this color circle, or rather sort of heart-shaped here, but you know, it's just because I didn't do it right. Why is it important to know that color circle? Because on the miniature you'll need to, of course, put several colors, and you need to work with harmony and to work with contrast of hue. We'll see about contrast of hue in another video, but basically this is all the colors that you can find ever perceived by the human eye, and it's important to understand which one contrast with which. These contrast with these contrast with these, this color contrast with those, all those here, but doesn't as much with these. You see? Anyway, that's the color circle. That's something you need to know for later on. That is my next video. Bye then.